Welcome to another episode of Labrina Hart Speaks. So today I'm checking in with you guys to let you know that I had to come and get 3 scans today, 2 MRAs for the brain and 1 MRI for the neck. So I'm here at the facility right now, and some of you know I am claustrophobic. It was pretty scary, but amazingly I was able to get through it. I was in there for a total of 30 minutes altogether, 10 minutes for each session, and I needed 3 different scans. And the reason why I needed to get the scans done, my neurology doctor actually ordered these 3 scans for me because I continuously lose my balance, and it's a mystery. I thought it was probably vertigo, but he immediately ruled that out, and he says that it's a mysterious case that he hasn't seen before. So that kind of made me nervous, of course, hearing that, because of course this doctor sees all sorts of people all the time, but here I come, I'm the mysterious case. I make it to the mysterious caseload. So just losing my balance right now, and this is exactly why I have to use my walker. I'm starting to get a little more, I'm starting to be, I should say, less embarrassed by using my walker, because it just seems to be a little weird, young people having to use a walker. I still consider myself young, even though I'm approaching middle age, but it's like I lost my balance again there. But it was pretty scary going through the machine. The good thing about it is when I first got in the room, I actually did not think to look at the machine, because I never really had to. I've been pretty healthy all my life, so I've never had to come and get x-rays done or scans. I've never broken any bones, except for when I was, I believe I was 9 years old. I broke my right arm. I have to look and see where the scars are. Yeah, I broke my right arm. The scars are pretty much faded now. You can't see it, but that was the only time I really had an x-ray that I can remember. But anyhow, I jumped in here to share my experience. I'm here alone, and where I often have to travel to my doctor appointments or my therapy appointments alone. This is another reason why I plan on getting me a life alert button. I believe that's what it's called, a life alert button. Thank goodness my driving privileges has not been revoked. So I'm still able to move around on my own. And I am on up to about 8 medications now. So they don't instantly make me dizzy or anything like that, but maybe depending on what I eat over the course of several hours, it can get a little dizzy for me. But yeah, back to this experience of having to go into the small little machine. It was about maybe only this round. I don't know what they do with oversized people. I guess they go into a totally different machine, but this one was really tiny. And I'm not that small. I'm not that big, but I'm not that small of a person either. So I was pretty much in there like this. I felt like a money in there, like packed in there like a little sardine. And I can laugh about it now, but I wasn't laughing when I was in that room. I was panicking, really. I panicked and I told him to let me sit back up. So I asked the technician, I should say, if I could sit back up and do some breath work, and look around the room again before going in there because I'm severely claustrophobic. I thought I would be screaming and kicking and the whole nine. But I was brave. I made it through. Didn't even scream or holler or anything. Made it through just fine, both sessions, but thankfully he did pull me out of there after the first 10 minutes. He pulled me out of there, and so I was able to get up, talk to him, look around the room, breathe, settle my nerves back down. And so I spent maybe about 5 minutes out of there before he put me back in there. So that really helped too, like if they could give you a little bit of a break. So but the second time that he had to put me back in there, we just we went ahead and went full 20 minutes, and I had to do back to back on those scans. So I was a little worried about that. I didn't think I was going to be able to get through the time, but I did. You'll be surprised, how brave you are and how you can get through things. You just have to believe it. And don't psych yourself out. So I tried to think positively, and what I did was the same thing that I did when I had my MRI done. I sung the whole time, except for this time he said I couldn't move my mouth since I was having brain scans done. So that worried me because I can be forgetful sometimes, and I thought I would start moving my mouth when I was singing in there, because that's the only thing that allowed me to get through the session is singing over and over and over, starting the song over and over and over again. I kept singing the same song. I think I was singing 2 different songs, like Karen White from the 80s, 2 of my favorite songs I used to love as a kid. So Superwoman was one of them. So I sung that one and one of her other ones, I forget the name of it. But yes, I just wanted to pop in. I hadn't popped in a while, even though I've been going on appointments. Sometimes I forget to tape. I'm just getting into the swing of this whole YouTube thing and being able to share my life experience and things like that. Last night I was having some heart pain, so I don't know, out of nowhere. I had Wingstop the night before, so maybe it was a little bit too much salt. That's what I'm guessing. But I try to follow my diet regimen. I usually don't eat like fried chicken or fast food or anything, but I just really had a taste for some Wingstop, so I went ahead and went down there. I said no salt on the fries. So I thought I was good with no salt on the fries, but we always forget how the blue cheese dressing that I got usually is very salty. Any of that dressing is usually, pretty salty, and we don't think about that. So, and the guy was nice enough to give me 2. He gave me an extra one by surprise. So of course I ate that one too, but I was only supposed to eat one. And he was nice enough to put some extra chicken wings in there for me, and that probably didn't help either. Well, actually I shared it, but I would have eaten it if I could. But people are usually pretty nice. Another reason I don't really like walking around with the walkers, because people treat you differently. And that could be for the good and the bad. I've been treated well, and then I've been treated not so well on the other end from a lady who worked at the post office. And I guess she was just being mean to me as soon as I walked up to her counter with my walker. So unfortunately, that's the way the world goes. That's the way the world, handles people. So again, I wanted to remind you that I do still have my GoFundMe page because I'm considered disabled. I'm not able to, even though I don't look sick, get that a lot. Oh, you don't look sick. You look like you can exercise. You look like you can do this and that. Oh, you could probably run a race. But looks are deceiving, as they say. Because just when I listen to someone that's telling me, oh, I bet you could do this, you could do that, you could do this, I wind up hurting myself, having chest pains or, believing people that don't know what's going on with me just because of the way I look, because I don't look sick. Or they don't understand how sick I am, or they don't want to believe it, I don't know. But I've learned the hard way not to listen to people and to listen to my doctors and not just random folks that have something to say. So if there's anybody out there that's suffering from debilitating health conditions like I am, just keep your head up and listen to what your doctors have to say. Do your research, because that's what I do. I've been a researcher before this even happened to me. I've always jumped online and researched things. Also, networking and just speaking to different people, people that may have the same issue or may know someone with the same issue. The intelligent thing to do is to ask a lot of questions, share information, that kind of thing. Don't be afraid to speak up. Talk to your doctor, even though, even if you think it may be a stupid question that you have, you'd be surprised. It probably isn't a stupid question. It's just that's what you're thinking, and that's what you've made up in your brain, in your mind, that it may be a stupid question or not so intelligent question. I say ask it anyway. So let them tell you, because they're still going to answer it, whether you believe it to be a stupid question or not. So I say, of course, write down all your questions prior to going in there, because like I mentioned before on another video, the doctor or the therapist, the doctor, they only have so much time to spend with you. So have all your questions ready so that you can go down the line, get them all answered and out of the way. And then that'll help you to know what to expect, or give you more information that you might have to research, that kind of thing. It's only to help you. So again, I wanted to thank you for taking the time to check out this video, and I just wanted to share that I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there, trying to stay positive, even though some days it feels like my health is improving, then other days I feel like I have setbacks and I'm still losing my balance. I'm trying not to get so happy where I feel like I can do more than I really can. I have to remind myself, or my mother has to remind me, see, you don't believe fat meat is greasy and all this, and I have to hear these different sayings, and she's constantly reminding me and to slow down and not try to do too much too fast too soon just because I might be feeling good this particular day. So I just have to remind myself that. And this is not a purse, this is my external defibrillator. I have to wear that life vest, as I mentioned before. And of course I had to remove that in the dressing room before I had my scans done. Of course, like you already know, you have to remove all metal devices, jewelry, all that. So the other interesting thing was when I came out of receiving all that radiation, my right arm was hurting. I was actually in there like this when I went back in there for the 20 minutes for the second time. And this was hurting, this area right here. But the technician said, "Oh, you're fine. Don't worry about that." So it was like he downplayed it. So, but I was worried because I'm a worry wart anyway. So of course I kept thinking like, "Oh my goodness, I hope I'll be okay." And then, oh my goodness, I forgot to tell him that I take iron pills twice a day. But after the fact, and also they have me on diabetic medication, even though I'm not a diabetic, just because they heard that that particular drug helps to build up the heart. They had me on that. Then another drug they have me on helps to, it's a cholesterol medication that, even though I don't have high cholesterol, they have me on it because it helps to reduce inflammation. So that's the reason. Sometimes they have you on these medications that you don't think you need, but it's to help with different things. So again, like I mentioned before, make sure you ask questions as to why you're having to take this, because I spoke with my doctor. I have to talk to him every week anyway, so I asked him, or I let him know that I wanted to try to wean myself off a couple of the medications, and he shot that down real quick. He's like, "Oh no." Nope. So because of course I'm always concerned about the health of my organs, and I know right now my organs are all great except for my heart. That's the only one that there's an issue with, because, and how do I know this? Because when my doctor did all the blood work early on, he tested all those organs and everything is normal and doing great. So I'm feeling so much better now that those scans are over. I did have to sit before I jumped in the car and drove off because I wasn't feeling too well. Felt like I was having some issue with my heart. Felt like it was like jitter. I had the jitters, and then I felt like it also felt like how should I say it? As well as jitters, I don't know. My heart felt like it was kind of it felt like it had some kind of issue going on. I didn't feel normal. It didn't feel regular. It felt like I was being affected. I was having some sort of side effect from all the radiation that I had just received. So there was a lady sitting out here on this bench next to me, and I had my walker, and so I just came and sat on my walker next to her, and I just let her know, like, I'm just gonna sit with you here for a little bit, because I'm by myself, and I just had 30 minutes of radiation back to back for several procedures, and I'm not feeling too well, so I just let her know. And it's good to do that. I wasn't afraid. She looked like a nice lady. So of course she was all for it. She's like, "Oh yeah, sure." And she was talking to me, and she started sharing with me how she had a stroke 3 years ago, and she's doing well now. And I shared with her how I didn't have a stroke, but I had a heart attack last month. And we were just pretty much sharing stories. We were just sharing our hospital stories. And you could, you never know what you could learn by sharing information with people. That's why I'm so open to it. I'm an open book. I'm not a person that put up walls just naturally. An open and honest kind of person, and that's the way I like to be. So again, I'm just popping in to share my experience. Again, as I mentioned, about me having to come in for 2 MRAs. So it's an angiogram for the brain, is it angiogram? Angiography or something like that. Angiography for 2 different brain procedures. I've already had the brain wave scan. I had that. I had that done last week inside the neurologist's office, and I was supposed to film that day, but I'll have to explain what happened, at the brain doctor. A whole different video. It was horrible. It was a horrible day. I got through it, but it was a horrible day, and I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop out of here. And until the next time, thank you again for checking out my channel. If you would like to donate, please look for the link below. And I have a GoFundMe if you'd like to send anything through Venmo. I also have Zelle, so the phone number is listed that you may send to. And again, if you're able to send $1, I'm totally fine with that. Anything helps. But again, as I mentioned, I'm totally disabled, so I'm not able to do a lot of the things that people think that I can do, like working. I'm not even supposed to be stressed at all. So how am I going to work really anywhere? Because I'm a worry wart type of person anyway. People might not know that about me, but I'm letting you know. So just about everything stresses me, and I don't handle that well. So again, thank you, and I'm gonna say bye for now, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Labrina Hart Speaks. Bye for now.